Stop cell towers in Carmel neighborhoods, weaknesses and solutions to the city's wireless draft ordinance, making a best practice resident-based wireless ordinance. In March 2022, local residents hired one of the top telecom attorneys in the country, Andrew Campanelli, to write the strongest wireless ordinance to protect the residential neighborhoods of Carmel from cell tower proliferation. Mr. Campanelli's ordinance is not designed to stop all cell sites. It is designed to give the city the maximum ability to control where they go. Weakness. Rather than starting with the March 2023 City Wireless Ordinance draft and trying to strengthen it to the level of the Campanelli Ordinance. Solution. Start with the March 2022 Campanelli Ordinance for Carmel as the ordinance framework and make any additions to the Campanelli Ordinance to make it stronger. Weakness. The city draft does not articulate the role of the Planning Commission as the discretionary reviewing authority of evidentiary findings. Solution. In the city draft, the Planning Commission's role must be clearly articulated within the ordinance and the Wireless Ordinance Facility Application Checklist Types 1 through 4. Weakness. The City Draft Wireless Ordinance Application Types 1 through 4 do not require applicants to provide all of the probative evidence necessary for the Planning Commission. Solution. The draft must require all of the probative evidence necessary for the Planning Commission to make factual determinations as to whether a denial of the application would materially inhibit an identified wireless carrier from providing personal wireless services. All the evidence necessary should also be articulated in the ordinance. Weakness. The city's draft has no deadline when applicants can submit special exception requests to the city. Solution. Require applicants making special exception requests to submit the request only at the time of application submission and no later in the process due to the shot clock deadline. Requests made later in the process will start over as a new application. Weakness. The city's application instructions state that applicants should include all the following information and/or materials and indicate whether tests were conducted. Solution. The city draft application instructions must require the necessary evidence from the applicant for the Planning Commission to be able to make factual determinations. Weakness. The city draft application instructions do not require an applicant to submit all the critical drive test data and map information. Solution. Require applicants to submit critical drive test data and map information necessary for the Planning Commission to be able to make factual determinations on significant gap claims. Weakness. The city draft application instructions do not require applicants to provide whether a mobile phone can connect to a landline. Solution. Require applicants to test whether a mobile phone can connect to a landline in the area to prove a significant gap claim. Weakness. The city draft application instructions do not require applicants to provide drop call records and/or denial of service records. Solution. Require applicants to provide drop call records and/or denial of service records in the area to prove capacity deficiency claims. Weakness. The evidentiary standards to be rendered by the Planning Commission are outside the ordinance and in the checklist. Solution. All the evidentiary standards to be rendered by the Planning Commission must be within the ordinance or in both the ordinance and the checklist. When neighbors work together with a passion for mutual values, including transparent government open to residents' voices, great things can happen. Thanks for listening.